All right, folks, welcome back to Prepping with Sarge. We are going to talk about the BKLES water filtration system today. I want to say a very special thank you and shout out to BKLES for sending this out so that I could review it for all of you. I will drop links for it in the description down below. And I think you're all gonna like this. So let's go ahead and get started. All right, so when it comes to preparedness and survival, there is one thing that you should prioritize above all other preps. And it is not silver and gold, even though I'm a big silver and gold enthusiast. If you watch my channel, you know that. It's actually a way to purify and store water. That should be your number one prep before anything else, before the fancy knives, before the fancy flashlights, before your prepper pantry. Your water filtration should be your number one priority, okay? And then a redundancy for it, right? So when it comes to water filtration, some of the systems that I've shown you in the past were manual, which means that you either have to sit there and pump it, or my brother likes the gravity fed systems. He's talked about that in the video that I did about Kilimanjaro, when he hiked Mount Kilimanjaro. But I've always been a fan of the pumping systems and squeeze systems, right? So they require some manual energy. Now the BKLES is one of those systems that does not. It's actually electric. And so as you can see, there's probably some pros and cons to that, right? So if you think about like when you're backpacking, or if you were bugging out or whatever, one of the things that you're going to be busy. You're going to be busy trying to tend to a fire. You're going to be busy looking for food. You're going to be busy maintaining your operational security. And so wouldn't it be nice to free up a little bit of that time and a little bit of that energy and let this thing do the work for you? And that's exactly what this does. Now, I did a little bit of a pre-test before I came out here. And what I'm looking for, I've done this trail before, although it's been about a year. There is a water source out here, and I camped in the area last night. And I know that we got tons of rain, so there should be water here. And what we're going to do is we're going to draw water from that stream. And it's more like a creek, I guess. It's a freshwater creek, though. We're going to draw water from there. And then I'll show you what I'm walking over here. I had to step over that. We're going to draw water from this creek. And then I'm going to show you how it filters. Oh, here we go. It's closer than I thought. Yeah, there's water in there. Okay. All right, so we're gonna see that water down there. It is running. I know you can't, it looks stagnant, but it is running. We're gonna draw water from there, and then we're gonna filter it out. So stay with me now. Are you feeling brave? All right, what do you think there, preppers? Would you drink out of that water? Well, we're gonna draw it with this. Now, I use, whenever I'm backpacking, and also in my bug out bags and my get home bags, I have two water containers, right? And one is always a clean canteen system like this, because I can boil water in this as a backup, okay? So if my filter system didn't work, I can always boil out of this because it's a single walled stainless steel. And then my second one is where the clean water goes into. So let me draw a little bit of water here. You guys can watch me just to make sure I'm doing it right. Actually, I want to put this cap down. I'm not going to cut this because I want you to see what I'm doing. So I'm just putting my cap down on the bridge. All right. And then I'm just going to draw a little bit of water from the surface. Okay, a little bit more. Yeah, that should be good. All right. All right, now there is a spot up here where we can take a little rest, and we'll work on our water filtration. I'll show you how that's going to work. But what I was saying there was, prior to coming on this trip, I worked with it a little bit at home to prime it. And you should always do this with any water filtration system. Don't wait till there's an emergency to do this. Prime it in advance, get to know how the system works. And you also want to make sure you're always, with any water filtration system, read the directions carefully. so that you know how to back flush. A lot of them, including this one, does require a back flush after use. So that just kind of cleans it all out. Very easy to do. It's not complicated, but you want to make sure you're knowing how to do that before SHTF, right? So water is the number one prep, obviously, because you can only go 3 days max without water. Now, people may say 3 days, that seems like a long time, but honestly, after 24 hours without water, you're going to start feeling the effects, and you're going to start losing strength, and you're going to start losing the ability to concentrate and make good decisions pretty darn quick. Now, right now, here in South Carolina, it is 91 degrees, and I'm already feeling, just from like 25 minutes into this hike, I'm feeling a little bit dehydrated already. So just something to, this is why it's the number one prep. All right, I think I got if I remember this correctly, I think the clearing's up here. We can sit down and we can work on this together. And just before we get out of these woods, just like take a minute and listen. Some people like the ocean, some people like mountains. The forest is where I recharge my battery. Absolutely love it. Look at how beautiful that is. Let me see if I can zoom in a little bit for you. Look at that old growth. It's just beautiful. And like I said, you're always going to want to have a container to grab your dirty water, and then a container to put your clean water. Okay, and I chose a clear Nalgene so that you can see the water when it comes out. And I like to use a clean canteen for my dirty water. The reason for that is, as a backup, if I don't have any filtration with me, I can boil in that. That is a single-walled stainless steel. Make sure you're using single-walled. Double-walled can explode if it gets too hot. But single-walled, you can boil water in that. And with the clear containers, works better with glass than with plastic, but with the clear containers, you can actually do the SOTUS method, which is not the safest or most reliable, but that would be the fallback to the fallback. All right, let's go ahead and take that piece out there. We don't really need that. So I've showed you this on the unboxing here. You've got your, that's your electronic filter, and then this is gonna take up the dirty water, and that's gonna put the clean water in. So that's gonna go into there. That's where your clean water is gonna go. Sorry. I want to make sure you guys can see this. Really wish I brought a mat to sit on, because the ground is pretty damp from all the rain that we're getting. Yeah, this is gonna be fun. All right, and then this is gonna go in here. Let's put the cap aside. So that's our dirty water that we showed you. All right, and then let's make sure the camera's got the whole thing for you. Back it off just a little bit. I'm trying not to do cuts so that you can see how this thing works. Try not to do camera cuts. So apologize for the shakiness, but it's all in the name of good integrity here. All right, we're gonna go ahead and turn this thing on, and watch how it filters. All right, and you can see it's already starting to come out there. Just a slight discoloration to the water. Actually, let's stop that. You know what I did wrong here? Because I stupidly forgot to put the pre-filter on. So this pre-filter, I think, is going to change that game there. All right, that just kind of clears up the sediment and should help a little bit with taste, and we'll see if it changes the color now. Yeah, still just a little bit discolored, but I'd drink that. All right. And that might be it because we just grabbed a little bit of water. All right, I think that's it. We're gonna shut that off. And then I'm gonna show you that I trust this. So I am gonna have to flip the camera here for a second. Actually, maybe I can do this without cutting. Let's see, I'm gonna try to flip the camera here for you. All right, just to show you. Tastes fine. Yeah, it's clean tasting. All right, so the BKLES BK2000 has a 0.01 micron 5-stage filtration system. It has passed SGS and FDA standards, and FCC and UL certification. It will filter out chlorine, metals, and sediment. A full charge will give you about 168 liters, which is good for most people for about 10 to 15 days of backpacking. And if you're like most backpackers, you carry a portable solar panel as well. And I know all my buddies in the prepping community love your portable solar panels as well. This will charge on a portable solar panel. Yes, I have tested that out. It also has a little light, which is not going to show up great here because it's the daytime, but it actually works pretty good if you're trying to do this at nighttime. If you got into camp really late and you were needing to filter your water before you went to bed, that is a nice little feature. The filters themselves are good for about 1,000 liters or 180 days, at which point you're going to need to replace those. I do recommend that while you're ordering it, you might as well go ahead and order some backup filters with it. And again, I'm going to put links for all this stuff in the description down below. And for you backpackers who are worried about weight, it is 12.4 ounces. Folks, I hope you enjoyed that. If you got anything out of value, please consider giving me a thumbs up. If you're brand new to the channel, please consider subscribing. Don't forget to check the links down below for the BKLES BK2000 and the filters. And I'll try to throw in some other discount codes and things down there that I think you might like. Keep planting your seeds, keep stacking your silver. This is Prepping with Sarge.